Konnichiwa, hello, como estas, tudo bem, aloha, hello, hola, what it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. You can also like, share, and subscribe if you don't necessarily like this video, because you can help a brother out. There's nothing wrong with helping a brother out, right? Let's get into what we're going to talk about today. What we have today here is another case, in my opinion, of Steve Kerr. I don't like Steve Kerr. I don't like him. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm biased against this man. I'm not really fond of his coaching style. I feel like he stole from Mark Jackson, who still doesn't have a job to this day. And I've always been bothered by that. And that makes me not really like Steve Kerr. That's part of it. Another thing is, I think he's got Steph running around like a wild mongoose librarian out there who has, control over all this history and the records of just being such a great shooter. But when are you going to get this guy a big man? It would be so easy if you just got Steph a big man so he could do what he does but not have to make all the baskets and give somebody another chance to get some easy baskets for Steph. Now, it looks like they solved that problem with Jimmy Butler. Now, Jimmy Butler's not a big man, but he plays the in-between game, and it looks like he's doing a lot through the first three quarters, and then Steph is closing the games out. And as of recently, Steph has been extremely clutch, which his fourth quarter scoring has gone up. I mean, there's no getting around it. His ability to make big shots is completely changed. I always thought of Steph as more of a front runner type player, and he was when they were really blowing people out the water. And then when it got real tough and games were close, he would struggle. But as of recently, he's been blowing the doors off at the last quarter, especially since that Celtics chip, the chip they won against the Celtics a few years ago. He's just gotten better and better in the clutch, which I have to say is impressive. He's almost reinvented himself to becoming this clutch guy, because I believe before that he was horrible in the clutch if you look at the numbers. And obviously they gave up that 3-1 lead back in 2016, and that added to me saying, he's not clutch. But recently he's been much better. But the problem is with Steve Kerr that I just feel like he doesn't develop any other talent. He's terrible at developing talent, especially talent that's bigger. They had James Wiseman. They drafted him high, got rid of him. I know he was hurt this year, but I was hoping for big things from Wiseman on the Pistons this year. Hopefully he'll get well soon and come back, because I think he could really be an asset for them. But Steve Kerr got rid of him, failed that experiment, and now it looks like he's heading towards getting rid of Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga has not played in the last few games, and it makes no sense to me. Kuminga literally has the ability to be an all-star at worst, and probably should have been one this year, but Steve Kerr is holding him back. And I like Steph, but it just seems like Kerr has hitched his wagon to Steph Curry, and that's it. And for some reason, Draymond wild mongoose green. Like, he is not going to let either of those two guys go, but especially Steph. Steph is his bread and butter, and I guess he knows that, because everything is in the name and the honor of Steph. It's like Steve Kerr probably has a shrine dedicated to Steph Curry at home in his office, because everybody else is chopped liver. And how do I know that? Let's look at this graphic here. It says, I have to read what we need. This is why Kuminga's not playing, by the way. This is what it's saying. I have to read who's playing well together. And to be very frank, the Jimmy/Kuminga combination has not been great. And that's the tricky part here. And I'm playing Jimmy 40 minutes a night because he's one of the very best players in the league. This is true. He's not capping here. Additionally, Kerr said, and there's a reason we're here and we are in the 7th seed, and the reason is Jimmy. And so my job as a coach is to keep the team on a path that I think gives us the best chance to win. And for now, that's why I've been leaning into the lineups that I have. So can I be mad at him for this statement? No. And if you've seen my slapping or capping videos, I believe I'm going to turn this into a slapping or capping as well. But to be honest with you, I don't have an issue with what he's saying. He is right. Whether I like Steve Kerr and his system or not, he is right. You have to play Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has been paying extreme dividends. And you know, Jimmy's been balling, and in turn, it's allowed Steph to really ball. You know, Steph is balling out too. When they play together, I think they only lost like 3 games. They won like 18. So, you know, you got to go with the hot hand. And it's a shame that Kuminga is really getting the short end of the stick. So while I do believe that Steve Kerr is doing it for the right reasons and he's making sense in these comments, it's still ridiculous that you just struggle to... Why do you have such a hard time getting good players to play good with whatever you're running, Steve? That's my issue. There's not enough room on that team for Jonathan Kuminga to play well. Like, he's an all-star level player. What are you doing? You had Jordan Poole. You let Draymond Green punch him in the face and get him out of here. Now, Jordan Poole is definitely a wild hyena in training. Like, he's definitely one of the most ridiculous characters I've seen in basketball. That's true. But on your team, at one point, he was a $100 million man. Now, he's still a $100 million man, but he's leading the Wizards absolutely nowhere. But on your team, he was super nice. Helped y'all win a ring. Until Draymond Green punched him in the face. Because you let that wild librarian, mongoose, reptilian specimen run loose again. You didn't lock the cage on the Velociraptors. And you let him punch him in the face. That's your fault, Steve Kerr. Your fault. But at the end of the day, why can't Steve Kerr get people to play well? Outside of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. And now, Jimmy Butler, I'll give you that. But that's it, man. He really struggles, in my opinion, to be an overall coach. He's only good at what he does, which is getting Steph open. To me, that's really where he primarily is at his best. So... he has a point here. I can't be mad at his point. His reasoning is sound and solid. I got to give him that. But it's a disturbing trend that he has these, you know, very good players that he can't figure out how to make it work with them. So he ends up getting rid of them, which is not good coaching in my opinion. But, I mean, he wins. He's won 4 championships. So nobody's going to listen to me when I say this, and people aren't going to like it. But I just think he's very fortunate that he ended up with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And I hate to say it because I can't stand Draymond Green, nor do I think he's that good of a player. But in this case, in this scenario, on this team, he's fortunate that he found Draymond Green because that got him 4 rings. So you got to give him that. But as far as like overall coaching, I feel like there's something left to be desired there with Steve Kerr. But who am I? I can't prove it, right? Well, I can prove it, but who's going to listen? He has 4 rings. One of the most successful coaches of all time. So that's just me telling it honestly how I see it. And you may see it differently, and that's fine. Feel free to debate in the comments. You know, I'd love to have a conversation. I definitely, a conversation, that's what I should call them. But I definitely am going to comment and respond, so let's talk about it. But overall, my point is Steve Kerr does a horrible job of he develops them, I guess, to where you see the potential, but then he does a horrible job of putting the potential to work. And this is another case of it. James Wiseman, Jordan Poole, now Kuminga is probably going to be shipped out of here. There's something wrong with that. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Do not click off immediately because there's other videos that I will be suggesting at the end of this one that I know that you will love. And again, if you didn't like this video, you can still help a brother out, man. It costs you nothing. So help a brother out. Don't be a hater. Don't be jealous. Be positive. Be a helper. Thank you very much for your time. I'm humble. Much love.